Now, this is where I usually say, you know the rules. Robots do the painting, and you do the guessing. And I will give some clues that could be helpful. I didn't even know Daniel Day-Lewis had done 20 movies. He's kind of picky. Top 20 Daniel Day-Lewis movies. Here we go. See if you remember this one. This is all the way back in 1982. Before fame, he played a small part in a giant story. You'll barely be able to recognize him. Just a rude street bully mocking a peaceful protester. It was his first credited film role. The first credited film role. The film swept the Oscars with Ben Kingsley in the lead. All right. It's a toughie. 1982. Ben Kingsley played the lead in this movie. And it may be... It was something about India, if that helps. Daniel Day-Lewis has joked that his first on-screen act of aggression was yelling at Gandhi. Gandhi was the movie. Ben Kingsley. He won the Academy Award for that. And believe it or not, Daniel Day-Lewis was a street thug in Gandhi. Okay, good. I got my stumping over with. All right, number 19. Now, this movie was in 2009, and this was a musical. This was a musical about midlife crisis, and it takes place in glamorous Italy. Now we're having a little internet issue again, huh? Well, I'm certainly sorry about that. We'll suffer through. Once again, my new internet is on the way. It's a matter of time. The film was inspired by Fellini's 8½. The director-protagonist juggles art, ego, and 8 complicated women. 8 complicated women! Yeah! There you go. That must have something to do with the title. Daniel sings, he really sings, as the tortured filmmaker Guido Contini. Guido Contini. And you are correct, the movie is called Nine. He spent months working with vocal coaches to perfect his singing voice, refusing to fake a single note. I wonder if there's some actors that just never can sing. Or whether if you have enough coaches, you can do it. I don't know the answer. All right, number 18. This father lived with his daughter on an isolated island commune. That sounds weird. His ideals are fading, and so is his health. The film explores environmentalism, isolation, and unconventional love. It was directed by his real-life wife, Rebecca Miller. He plays a guy named Jack Slavin. The shoot was so personal that he helped build the cabin they lived in. Method acting turned carpentry. Yes. These are a little obscure. You know, they're down the list. And like I said, I didn't even know he did 20 movies. It's very picky. 2005 is when they made this, and it was called The Ballad of Jack and Rose. The Ballad of Jack and Rose. No, you had it. Okay, we're just a little slow. I should have confidence that you will have it. Very good, you got it. All right. Good job. Number 17. This one's a retelling of the world's most famous mutiny. He served under Captain Bligh and witnessed chaos aboard the ship. You may remember who played Captain Bligh as well. Oh, well, you can say Russell Crowe, but that was a different movie. We are looking for Daniel Day-Lewis movies. And Anthony Hopkins and Mel Gibson were both also in this movie. What's going on, Brad? This was one of his earliest Hollywood roles. This was back in '84. There you go, King. Good job. Good job. Anybody remember his character's name in The Bounty? This was The Bounty. You'll remember Anthony Hopkins from a couple weeks ago. And Mel Gibson. We haven't seen Mel in a long time. His character's name was John Fry. He reportedly studied naval traditions so seriously that he still tied perfect knots years later. Okay. Here we go. 16. No kings, incidentally. No kings. All right, this one sounds a little quirky. A British art appraiser faces mayhem in the American South. That is a trailer in the background, so it kind of fits with the American South. Think slapstick shotguns and Southern hospitality gone wrong. Daniel Day-Lewis's rare foray into, this is a pure comedy, into pure comedy. He kind of looks like American Psycho there too, doesn't he? Kind of a Gavin Newsom look. He plays Henderson Doors. Henderson Doors, a man in way over his head. Okay. Southern hospitality gone wrong. Comedy, think slapstick, British art appraiser. He later admitted comedy terrified him more than violence. At least death scenes don't rely on timing. No, this was called Stars and Bars. Stars and Bars. Interesting choice by Daniel Day-Lewis there. We were talking about how we didn't even know Daniel Day-Lewis had done 20 movies, but he's so picky. So, a couple of them are a little more obscure. This is number 15, a little less obscure. 1997. A man returns home to Belfast after prison, hoping to rebuild his life. Boxing is his outlet, but politics won't leave him alone. Emily Watson co-stars in this deeply human story. All right, finally to the deeply human stories. Very good, King. He trained for 2 years with real fighters before filming. His name in this movie is Danny Flynn. Danny Flynn. And yes, indeed, this is the boxer. The boxer. Locals thought he was turning pro. That's how convincing his training sessions became. He is the ultimate method actor. A lot of these guys are quirky. Daniel Day-Lewis is definitely up at the top. Definitely up at the top. The boxer. Very good. Well, that takes us down to number 14's next. All right, here we go. 14. Now, this is a pretty famous one. Accusations, hysteria, and forbidden love sparked tragedy in colonial Salem. Adapted from Arthur Miller's classic play. There's the key clue. Adapted from Arthur Miller's classic play. He's a farmer torn between love and integrity. Now, well, yeah, and I remember this part. Winona Ryder fans the flames as Miss Abigail. So, I need the name of the movie and I need the name of his character. Winona Ryder fans the flames as Miss Abigail. Not The Edge of Innocence. No. Arthur Miller's classic play. He actually built the farmhouse where his character lived to stay immersed in the 17th century. He was into building like shacks. He liked to do that. Accusations, hysteria, and forbidden love. Well, it's called The Crucible, or it's the story of Salem and the Salem witch trials, and he is Mr. John Proctor. John Proctor. All right. Stumped you. Stella! Stella! Is that Marlon Brando? Yeah. Okay, 13. Now, this is 1971. He didn't even get his name on the movie. But when you're having to get 20, you got to include ones like this. He has no lines, and he got no credit. Blink and you'll miss him. But here he is. We got a picture of him in the movie. Yet it marks his first appearance on film. He earned £1 for the day's work. And you know this one. So if you blink, did you miss him? Yeah, you are correct. Sunday Bloody Sunday. Sounds like the name of a football movie. I don't know. He got paid £1, Brad. £1. His film debut involved smashing glass, appropriate for someone destined to break boundaries later. Sunday Bloody Sunday. There he is. A kid. All right, number 12. Number 12. High Society in New York in the 1870s. Now, the movie was 1993, but the movie's about the 1870s, where love is a scandal and manners are warfare. Martin Scorsese trades gangsters for corsets. Michelle Pfeiffer plays the exiled Countess Olenska. The Countess Olenska. Daniel Day-Lewis is Newland Archer. And he's trapped by convention. Okay, there's King. There's King with that one. He knew it was coming up. He stayed in character between takes, sending co-stars handwritten notes, sealed with wax, like a true Victorian gentleman. He is quite the method actor. Age of Innocence is correct, from the year 1993. High Society, New York. Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah, method actors, quirky. Wait till you see the top 10. My understanding is, though, he's a very good actor. He's obviously a very good actor. Number 11. I never heard of this one, but that don't mean it wasn't good. 1985. You know, like I said, we have to go back in time to get 20. A laundromat becomes the stage for love and rebellion. It tackled class, race, and sexuality. In Margaret Thatcher's Great Britain. Margaret Thatcher's Great Britain. His punk leather jacket became iconic. That's him on the right, incidentally. This is not A Room with a View, but hang on to that one. Excuse me. He plays Johnny, a working class boy in love with his friend Omar. So he plays Johnny and he's in love with his friend Omar. There you go. Now you got it. My beautiful laundrette. Laundrette. Is that like laundromat? Laundrette. Released the same year as A Room with a View. There you go. So, let's see if you can get the next one, King. A young woman's trip to Florence stirs forbidden feelings. Merchant ivory elegance and English repression in full bloom. We love that English repression. Something you can count on. He plays the most proper fiancé ever captured on film. Yes, okay. And you knew that one was coming. Or you were clairvoyant on the round before, perhaps. Now, who's the co-star in there? She's a fairly famous English lady as well. Anybody remember the co-star? The actress's name? He plays Cecil Vyse, or Vyse, V-Y-S-E. Vyse. In A Room with a View. Yeah. Helena Bonham Carter. I think the first movie I saw her in was Planet of the Apes. If I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure. His collars were so stiff he could barely turn his head. There you go. The proper fiance. Fight Club, yeah. All right, number 9. Number 9. A son and father are wrongly imprisoned in 1970s Great Britain. Or just Britain. It's based on the true story of Jerry Conlon and Guilford Ford. Yeah, so you knew that one. Daniel Day-Lewis is right up your alley, King. Daniel Day-Lewis gives one of his most emotionally raw performances. They're all pretty emotionally raw. He endured solitary confinement in prep for the role. Of course he did. Of course he did. The film is In the Name of the Father, of course. You're right. In the Name of the Father. 1993, he spent nights locked in a real cell and lived on prison rations to stay in character. How's that, Brad? How would you like to eat prison rations for the whole filming? To stay in character. Well, you probably definitely have seen all the rest. The next two are my two favorites, probably. So here we go. No, I mean, this one's definitely my overall favorite. Set during the French and Indian War. It's part romance, part survival epic. It is. It's a romantic survival tale with epic scenery. The score and cinematography are cinematic legend. This was the Miami Vice guy, right? Wasn't this the Miami Vice guy that did the cinematography on this? Yeah, of course it is. Of course you know this one. His character was raised by Native Americans, and so he's the one who bridges the two worlds. He lived in the wilderness to prepare for the role. Of course he did. He's Hawkeye in The Last of the Mohicans. You're correct. I love that movie. Did you like the movie? The scenery and the music, it was that almost the Miami Vice kind of feel where the music really sets the pace or the timing of the movie. He learned to build canoes and track game by scent. He tracked game by scent. Of course he did. All for a few minutes of screen authenticity. He tracked game by scent. All right. Number 7. This guy's quite the method. 19th century New York. Blood, grit, and vengeance. Scorsese directs, but the villain steals the show. And steal it he does. He is Bill the Butcher. Bill the Butcher Cutting. All swagger and menace. Yes, of course. And who was his co-star? Who played the kind of leader of, I think, was it the Rabbits? The Irish gang? The film, of course, you're correct, is Gangs of New York from the year 2002. Do you remember his co-star? Who played the leader of the Rabbits? Were they called the Rabbits, or was it something slightly different than the Rabbits? Something Rabbits. Leo, of course, you're correct. Daniel Day-Lewis stating character offset, speaking in period slang, and sharpening real knives between takes. Doing a little butchering for the casting crew. Yeah. So that was cool. At least they used his method to get some food. All right. This one might be hard because this goes all the way back to 1986. Before stardom, he starred in this little-known British-French romance. He's got kind of a punk haircut in this. I'll give you a clue. The film explores post-1968 political idealism. He plays a charismatic socialist drifter named Max. We're trying to stump you. It's rarely seen, but deeply revealing of his early intensity. Oh, you know it. Pretty good. You saw this one? I definitely did not see this one. I might have to. His early intensity. He made it right before his big breakout in My Beautiful Laundrette. Oh, that was his big breakout. I didn't know that. His final rehearsal for greatness was Nanu. You did see it. Very good. Nanu. What was it about? Something? I don't know. All right, top 5. Top 5, all famous roles of his. Here we go. One of his more famous. The beard. The stovepipe hat. The voice. Uncanny. perfection. And Spielberg directs, history applauds. He became this guy so completely that crew members called him Mr. President. His portrayal won him a record-setting 3rd Oscar. This is his 3rd Oscar. Yeah. And of course, he stayed in character for months, signing messages and texting co-stars in 19th century prose. Very good. All right. Yes, of course. Of course, it's Washington. Crazy Brits. They don't know any American history. There's some very funny Sora 2 videos coming out with Abraham Lincoln and George Washington doing WWE matches. Quite funny. All right, top 4. Top 4. Here we go. I remember this movie. A little uncomfortable. Made me uncomfortable. It's like, how can a guy act that much? A man born with cerebral palsy learns to paint and write with his foot. It's both heartbreaking and inspiring. Yeah, I mostly got the heartbreaking part. Brenda Fricker plays his indomitable mother. Yeah, big nose. Did you? I remember seeing this. I saw this right when it came out. This one, this was the first Oscar that he won. He won the first Oscar for this role, and his character's name in this is Christy Brown. Christy Brown. And of course, the movie was My Left Foot. And did you know this was all the way back in 1989? And I didn't realize that. Wow. And here's some more method acting for you. He stayed in his wheelchair throughout the filming, forcing crew members to feed him between takes. That's great. He decided, I'm going to show these guys some method acting. All right, number 3. Prague Spring, passion, and philosophy all rolled into one. He plays a Czech surgeon juggling love, freedom, and moral weight. This is adopted from Milan Kundera's novel. The film's sensuality made him an art house star. So this is all the way back in 1988. So this is when he became an art house star. You remember this one? His name is Tomas. In the movie, he learned Czech and medical procedure choreography for the role. Of course he did. Total immersion, even in romance. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The unbearable lightness of being. Now, I don't remember if I saw this movie or not. I remember the name of the movie because it was a crazy name for a movie. Crazy name for a movie. Hey, see, there's a lot of people in the house, actually. I can see numbers, and nobody's playing. You guys need to challenge King. He needs some competition. Okay, top 2. I love this one. This is a good movie. Dark movie. 2007. Oil gushes, morality dries up. Paul Thomas Anderson directs this American epic of greed and ambition. Thought about this cool town called Bakersfield in California. I drink your milkshake became cultural shorthand for ruthless power. He won his second Oscar for this role. This was the second Oscar. And actually, his first name his character's name was Daniel. Daniel Plainview was the character's name. And he based Plainview's voice on the director of the movie, John Huston. It was a mix of a preacher, a tycoon, and a snake oil salesman. A preacher, a tycoon, and a snake oil salesman. You probably had to practice that quite a bit. You don't remember it? Well, you might, and it's just slow. There Will Be Blood. There Will Be Blood, 2007. Great movie. Haven't seen it. If anybody out there hasn't seen There Will Be Blood, awesome movie. Okay, here we go. Number one, and his final movie. I don't know why he retired. I don't really remember the story on that. 2017. Post-war London's fashion world. Precise and poisonous. He plays a courtier obsessed with control and perfection. Courtier. His muse turns the tables, sowing tenderness into tyranny. It is his farewell role, and it was elegant, strange, and haunting. And of course, you are correct. You are correct. Do you know his character's name by chance? That's a lot. Character names are always so much harder, especially Daniel Day-Lewis characters. They always have unique names. Phantom Thread is indeed the movie. Very good. He reportedly made his own costumes and retired afterwards, saying, "I've drained the well, a fitting final stitch in a flawless career." All right. Reynolds Woodstock. What's his name? Oh, I'm sorry. Reynolds Woodcock. There's a big difference.